Guys, March Madness is here, and FanDuel is giving you the chance to get in on the action like never before. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when their first $5 bet wins. That is $200 extra bucks to use on everything from buzzer beaters to Cinderella stories, and even betting on who's going to cut down the nets when it's all said and done. So visit FanDuel.com/UCSS and get in on the college hoops action all tournament long. Guys, we start with the trade the Browns made yesterday, acquiring Kenny Pickett from the Philadelphia Eagles for DTR and a fifth-round pick. I found a graphic from the interweb showing that this could be a steal for the Cleveland Browns. Bull, I want you to look very closely at these stats. Please take Dagboard full here. And you look at Kenny Pickett's career win percentage compared to Joe Burrow's. He has a higher win percentage than Joe Burrow. He's thrown fewer interceptions in his career than Joe Burrow. He's lost despite having tiny hands, like minuscule, fake tiny hands, has lost 437% fewer fumbles than Joe Burrow in his career. He's taken 1/4 as many sacks, and he's won a Super Bowl ring. So maybe they could have found someone better than Joe Burrow.
I think there's a lot of truth to this. I think this is entirely possible.
Boy,
there's a lot of truth there.
This is I love that you got those stats because you're quickly learning how delusional we are.
Yes.
Man, we will pivot on a smooth dime.
Yeah.
We have on this show multiple times in preparation of playing said Kenny Pickett, talked about his hand size, talked about how he's placebo, talked about how he's Minimowski, mid-sauce, whatever you want to say, and how he does not scare you at all. We've talked about how the fact that he's been outdueled by DTR and PJ Walker before.
Whoa. His name is Phillip.
Oh, Phillip, there you go. Phillip Banks. He's on the roster and slowly but surely, watch this. But listen, Kenny Pickett though, first round.
What's that?
Steelers.
What's that? What's the stat? Didn't he got like the most fourth quarter comeback wins or something? What did he have?
I'll look up that stat.
He had a bunch of had nothing to do with him.
I'll look it up. That graphic was from Dollar Dog Nick on Twitter, so shout out to Dollar Dog Nick. In reality, though, we'll talk about the trade, but I do want to play this clip from Adam Schefter, who had a little more insight on the Kenny Pickett trade yesterday. This is from ESPN yesterday. Then we'll dive into the real conversation about the Browns acquiring Kenny Pickett. Steve, let's hear it.
I don't think it impacts them at number 2. I think that they trade for Kenny Pickett because they like Kenny Pickett. I still wouldn't be surprised if they added another quarterback via free agency, whether that's Joe Flacco, whether that's waiting it out on Kirk Cousins, who Atlanta won't let out right now, but nobody believes he's going to play there again. There are some options out there, and we'll see which one finds his way to Cleveland. But I think that the Browns recognized a quarterback who was a former first-round draft pick that they figured it was worth taking a flyer on. Why not? He was a former first-round draft pick. He's costing you a fifth-round draft pick and one of your backup quarterbacks. Take the chance. If he turns into the type of player that many people thought he could be, then you hit. If not, then you have another backup quarterback. It's not the worst gamble in the world.
Yeah. All right, guys, do you agree with Schefter? And then big picture, will this prohibit them from potentially getting another veteran quarterback before the draft?
I mean, the fact that they were even talking about number 2 as if this might be a factor is beyond laughable. Of course it's not a factor in number 2.
Not at all.
And it's most likely not a factor in getting another veteran. I'm fine with the trade, guys, because I think Kenny Pickett, in terms of depth, is probably better than DTR. Not probably. I mean, he's better than DTR. He's a serviceable backup quarterback in the league. So I'm fine with it because you gave up a fifth-round pick that was a late fifth-round pick. Who cares? And a quarterback that couldn't, we already know couldn't play. But I have no interest in Kenny Pickett being any kind of starter for the Browns as more than, guys are hurt, so we got to play him.
Now, Tyvis, you hate this move. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
That was good, G. I like that.
I never said I hated the move. That's not what I said. What I said was I understood what it was about. I mean, listen, the Browns, they literally came out and said that they wanted to be more competitive in that room. I forget who was I listening to that said that last year the way they went about free agency was about to support of Deshaun, making sure we get quarterbacks that can support Deshaun. Well, this year is like it's all about competition, bringing in the best guys that's going to compete for the start job. Think about it. If you got Kenny Pickett, you add a veteran, and you draft a rookie.
Yeah.
You got 3 guys that's all in their mind like, oh, I'm going to beat that guy out.
Good.
So
There's nothing
now
wrong
the
with that.
competition
Yeah.
is going
Yeah.
to be higher, and
Yeah.
whoever wins it out, you know that they beat 2 other decent guys. And with DTR, you seen what DTR was. You seen that he wasn't the guy that you could move forward with. You know, a couple of years ago when you decided to trade Josh Dobbs and make him your number 2 quarterback, you know, you thought you had high expectations for him. Well, I said at the end of that season that when they started to start DTR, it was an evaluation process. They wanted to see, like, can this guy help us in the future?
Right.
And they ultimately walked away and said this guy wasn't good enough. And that's why they was like, all right, if you're going to give us a former first-round pick, we'll take that, because no denying he's a first-round talent. He was graded out as a first-round talent. Kenny Pickett I'm talking about. Somebody took him in the first round. So therefore, the talent is there. So maybe they think to themselves, maybe we get him with the right coaching staff, right quarterback coach, maybe we can get that out of him. But at the end of the day, he still has to compete with whatever other 2 guys that they get. And they just wanted to make the quarterback room better, and that's what that did.
Here's what it is.
That's what it is.
I might just get to this.
I got you, bro.
They rolled back all that extra stuff. They went into the meetings and was like, look, man, we ain't going to be winning that many games this year, boo. We're going to win 4, 5, 6, whatever it's going to be.
Yeah.
We need to revamp the image of what this room is. I don't want nobody on Instagram.
That's it.
I don't want nobody talking about nothing and what the playbook look like. I don't want nobody even remotely like we gonna be as vanilla as possible. We gonna be Kevin Stefanski, run his play action. When you get up in front, even Jameis Winston, we love you, Jameis. You threw a lot of interceptions, but you was fun. They don't want no fun back there. They want, hey, play action, learn this playbook, and watch. They gonna double down and get you. Now I don't got a problem with it. Hey, look, Kevin Stefanski was like, look, man, I got 1 year to do it. I need all of these things, these fires put out.
We think he got 1 year to do it. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, but I think it's shaping up. It might be one in the possible. I'm just telling y'all about for the tea leaves. I might be wrong.
It do look like one in the possible.
One in the possible. I'm just saying. But listen, this will make sense because when they go out, and we talked about it, Zach Jackson says that we are going to have Kirk Cousins possibly as another Browns quarterback by this weekend. You combine those 2 moves together, you sandwich Kenny Pickett with Kirk Cousins, that room is now completely, when they say adults in the room, remember, that's what got Baker up out of here. Yeah. They want adults. They don't want no extra stuff. And then we're going to get you, they still going to grab a rookie quarterback. They'll slice him and put him right in the middle.
Does Shedeur Sanders fit that room?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because besides Shedeur,
got to keep it diversified.
Besides his little flashy wrist joint, he's really vanilla. He's a vanilla player. He's not a flashy player.
I just wanted to be desegregated.
Yeah. That's now
his game is
very
vanilla.
It's very, and I'm not. And this is not a double entendre here, people. I'm not saying vanilla. Just that would be crazy if I was thinking that. But but no, like his game fits right into what they trying to do. What Stefanski is showing you, I'm with structure. He won a Super Bowl. I'm going to go get Kirk Cousins. He's old. I've worked with him before. They'll pick up the offense. And look, you don't like that move either. You went from, go ahead.
You mentioned, Zach Jackson was on with Ken and Lima this morning, and he mentioned that he thinks Kirk Cousins will be here by the weekend. Zach doesn't just throw out stuff like that very often.
I hope
so
he is in this
the fact
case.
that he said that makes me think that's going to happen. Obviously, the Falcons got to figure out, is it going to be a trade or are they cutting him? Probably they're going to have to cut him, and it may just take a few more days. In terms of, there was something you mentioned there that I think was dead on. I was actually going to ask you guys about it. I think the Browns need to cut all ties with Deshaun Watson at quarterback. And anybody that was in that locker room last year with Deshaun Watson in terms of quarterback had to be gone. That's what I think this was about. Do I think the Browns really believe that Kenny Pickett could be a starting quarterback in the NFL? Maybe there's a 1% chance they think that. Mm-hmm. I mean, if the Philadelphia Eagles gave him away for nothing, they're the smartest organization in football.
I mean, they got a 5th back for him, in a way. They got DTR and a 5th.
Yeah, but they just what's more important to a team like the Eagles that's trying to win a Super Bowl? Having the best backup quarterback you can have, or a 5th-round pick?
String.
Well, okay, first of all, he was 2nd string last year.
No, McKee was.
No, he wasn't. He became the second string eventually.
Yeah, he did.
Because they decided he was better than Kenny
Didn't
Pickett.
he play in like
That's
the
what I'm saying.
playoffs?
Yeah,
or
so
something?
Pickett was their third.
Wasn't it a playoff
Pickett?
game or something he played?
Who, McKee?
No, Pickett.
Yeah, Pickett played at the end of the Super Bowl, didn't he?
Yeah, he took the final knee.
Yeah, exactly. So the reason they moved on is because they're comfortable with McKee, who never really played, being their backup. That tells you what they really think of Kenny Pickett.
Oh, we're saying the same thing, just in different ways. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're saying
Yeah.
the same thing.
I'm saying that if they think a guy who's never played in Tanner McKee could be a better backup, again, this is not a bad team. This team just won the Super Bowl. If I get it, if Jalen Hurts gets hurt for the season, they're done. But if Jalen Hurts gets hurt for a month, they said they'd rather go with Tanner McKee than Kenny Pickett. That tells you what they think about him. Doesn't mean they're always right, but they've been right more than most teams. And so Kenny Pickett is a lottery ticket, and that's it. But part of this was just changing the guys in that locker room and getting rid of the connections to because Deshaun Watson's never going to be in the Browns locker room again. That's it.
Do you don't think that it comes off as the Eagles making the same mistake that the Browns made?
No, because they get the benefit of the doubt.
No,
'Cause
but
they win.
I'm saying like we traded Josh Dobbs for DTR. They
Yeah.
traded Kenny Pickett for Tanner McKee.
Well, two things here. Number one, their starting quarterback has been good.
that's fine.
You know, the Browns
I'm
situation.
talking about the number 2 quarterback.
I know that,
You're going
but
with the less experienced guy.
ultimately, no team is winning a Super Bowl with Kenny Pickett or Tanner McKee.
That's a fact.
Or Josh Dobbs or
That's a
DTR.
fact. But
So
you can
it
still
doesn't-
keep. Yeah, if Jalen Hurts ever got hurt and
Right.
you had to go 4 or 5 weeks with.
Right, but Tanner
about
McKee's been with them for a year, unlike DTR, who was new to the Browns.
No,
at
I'm
the
talking
time.
about Kenny Pickett in this.
Well,
Right, but they may have seen enough internally on McKee that they're like he's better than Kenny Pickett.
That's how we felt about DTR.
Right, but DTR hadn't been there for a year with the Browns at the time.
But we missing this about the Eagles. The Eagles front office is like, oh no, we do this.
Didn't they
Yeah.
come
We
from the Eagles?
He was not in charge.
He was not. No, you're 100%
He
right.
was in the office.
He wasn't in charge.
He was
wasn't
not
the
in
man.
charge, but he was in
wasn't
the
the
office.
So here's the thing. The Eagles evaluated talent and says, listen, we do this for a living. We drafted Carson Wentz. He got hurt. We had Foles. We still won. Listen, even when they had think about it, even when they got their coach and Doug Peterson when they won the Super Bowl, they're like, oh no, we don't feel like you're good enough. We're going to get you up out of here too.
Well, he had some bad seasons.
So then they ran it back. So they get Jalen Hurts. Nobody thought Jalen Hurts was going to be anybody. They said, no, we like you, and we're going to start you. Now, look, they've shown a track record of being correct. We've shown a track record of not even getting first-round picks correct. So, no, I don't trust them in what they're saying.
Yeah.
That's
I don't
Our
think it's
who was our last first-round pick? Was it G New?
Yes.
G knew.
Yeah, it's decent. It's a decent pick.
Medium sauce.
But it could have been worse.
It's like saying somebody was like, yo, you want to go out for wings?
Decent pick.
And they like, where you want to go? BW's.
Yeah.
I said, BW3's wings. That was sold 1997. The boys is medium at best.
Listen, it's
Look, right.
it's what it was.
Yeah,
Not a bad pick.
It's just G New.
Before we move on to
Yeah.
the next topic, all in agreement that just because they signed Kenny Pickett does not mean they will not sign someone else. Zach
is-
Jackson, like we mentioned earlier,
Yes.
alluded to the Kirk Cousins stuff.
I think we all agree this is a non-factor in what else they're going to do at quarterback. Correct?
No.
Has
Yeah,
nothing to
yeah.
do-
Non-factor.
It's all about competition. to me.
Yeah,
They're
and
going-
that's fine.
Yeah.
If they want to let him compete, I never have a problem with competition.
And by the way, I mean, this is just me throwing it out speculation-wise. There was some things back in the day when Myles Garrett said they didn't like the way there was a double standard for him and Deshaun Watson and some of the players.
Right.
They didn't like some of the ways that Kevin Stefanski handled him with certain kid gloves. I wouldn't be surprised if they said, look, one of the questions was, hey, is Deshaun going to be back next year or what are we doing next year? Because I need to figure that out. So I think Bull was right. I think they're putting that in cold water right now so we can just keep it pushing.
I mean, Jerry